Good morning, good morning. Happy March. It is here. We're here in March Madness. How do you feel up to the first day of the tournament?
Madness has begun. I'm here for it.
Currently
Uh,
watching it.
yeah, so it is Thursday night for us, and Michigan has not yet tipped off. They have a 10:09 tip off, so they'll be here in a minute or two. Um, but
I already
I'm
lost
I'm
my
here for
survivor
it.
pool, as I've been mentioning about off air. Missouri, I picked them, and I picked UCLA, who is currently up and beating Utah State. But I definitely thought Missouri was going to have this game. I cannot believe they just got smoked by Drake like this. The score doesn't do it justice. I feel
Drake.
like because they made a run in the second half, and otherwise it just was all
Yeah.
Drake all game. This entire game.
No, I
So
mean, the way this is shaping up, it's like Missouri made the run and then just fell flat, and Drake
yeah,
pulled away
you
again.
ran out of steam, and Drake
So
kept up with the run, and that was it. So
yeah,
yeah,
we'll get
shit.
into more of that
But
in a little bit. There's
yeah,
another upset to talk about.
yeah,
Get to
for
play a
sure.
little where they from.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw that, and I was like, I'm gonna Google it, and I was like, now nah, just guess, because I'm probably gonna be wrong. So fuck it.
I was excited as soon as I saw it. I was like, because
I bet
Jamie
Dane
asked
doesn't know
me.
where they're from.
Well, Jamie asked me. She was like, "Where's McNeese from?" And I'm
I heard the
like,
one
"I
announcer
got no idea."
produce it MacNeese, and I was like, don't. I'm not doing that. It's spelled McNeese. There's no A. I was like, you're not getting a MacNeese from me. I was like, they're McNeese
Not
until
happening.
further
I
notice.
will not do it.
Yeah. So good question, Jamie. We will figure it out here in a little bit. I'm sure AJ already knows, but
Yeah, I had to look it up in the moment. So I
yeah.
got that done. Anyways, quick, would you rather for you? Would
Go
you rather
for
be
it.
able to eat anything you want and have it be perfect nutrition, or only sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested?
Uh, yeah, that's tough because the extra 5 to 7 hours a day that you'd have, like you could do so much and get so many things done.
Sure.
And so you can make sure that your nutrition's taken care of, but then also to just have the nutrition completely eliminated from your worry in life. Like you could just eat a
You
bag of
see,
Skittles,
yeah,
and it's just like you just munch that down real quick, and boom, perfectly healthy, full meal body is restored and ready to go.
right.
So all you would really need to worry about then is sleep and exercise. So is it better to cut food out? But then no, yeah, see, because the taste is still there. I think I almost would rather do that one, even though you would waste time. Well, yeah, see, I don't know, because I don't want to waste time because you can't get the time back. I feel like having
I
an
knew
extra
this one
five.
would bother you.
Yeah, this one fucked me up. Yeah, that one sucks because that's two completely different scenarios, and they each have their pros and cons. But yeah, no, I'll be thinking about that one for a few days.
For
Eat
what it's
anything you
worth,
want. Yeah, where are you at on
for
it?
what it's worth, I'm 100% rolling with anything you want gives you perfect nutrition.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Um,
the right way to go.
so I mean, there's not really a bad way to go per se,
Yeah, true.
but
Facts. I think that's where I'm at. Is that neither one of them are bad. I win in
right,
both, but also what's the most efficient one? And I think
yeah.
that's where I'm at.
So my mind goes to, all right, if I'm only sleeping 1 hour a day, what's the hour that I'm sleeping a day, and what am I realistically going to be doing with that time? So my first thought is, all right, you guys play video games pretty much every night until God knows what time. So
Yeah.
like I'm gonna play video games with you guys pretty much every night,
Yes. Get
right?
AJ back.
But and then I sleep an hour whenever we get off. I sleep an hour and then I wake up and then what? What am I doing with my life? Because presumably I'm the only person like this. So my wife and
Yeah,
daughter are
that's
still
true. That's
sleeping.
true. That's
So I
true.
got to be quiet in the house.
I don't know, but
My
just think
dogs are
about
probably still
how
sleeping.
productive and shit you could be. You could be running. You could essentially work two full time jobs, but hearing that as an average person right away, you're like, why the fuck would I want to do that? I'm already tired. But you wouldn't be tired.
Right.
You have 6 or 7 hours that you ultimately could be working on your side hustle, your dream, your whatever.
Yeah.
That was my thought process. Was
Sure.
oh my god, the productivity I would have. The fully rested part is what did it. Where it's I'm 100% rested coming out of that hour. Oh fuck yes. If it would have just been you're the same tired you are as 5 hours as 1 hour, it'd be no, because then I'm not gonna wake up and be miserable and not want to do anything
Yeah.
anyway. But you're telling me I wake up and I feel good about life, oh, I'm gonna get some shit done before I have to go do the normal day. But yes, that was my thought process. Was I would have extra time, but I do see your point though, yeah, because we get off at
Um.
even in the latest 2 a.m. So you sleep 3 to 4 a.m. every day from 4 to 6 a.m. What the fuck are you doing for two
Yeah.
hours while the whole world is sleeping?
Yes.
But yeah,
Exactly.
your whole world is sleeping.
I'm just not gonna be doing anything with that time. So like I might as
Yeah,
well just sleep and then being
Yeah,
able, especially
to
for me, because
eat.
I'm a huge foodie.
Yeah,
So like being
exactly.
able
Yeah,
to
yeah.
just
To
go
know,
eat
yeah, to
whatever I
just cut
want,
out
it's
the idea of healthy food, just where
yeah,
you can eat whatever you want. The taste is the same, and now it's just healthy.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
would
I'm
be pretty
definitely a
legit.
food
Cause then,
guy.
yeah, I feel like that is the right answer. Cause yeah, it's just like,
So
yeah, but
I encourage our listeners to confidently or respond, comment, like. I'll put a
yeah,
poll up on Spotify as well for our listeners there.
for
We'll see
that,
what
yeah,
people say. Please
that's a
weigh in on
solid one.
this. Again, it's
Yeah, that's a
would you
solid one.
rather
That
eat
one got me
anything you
torn.
want and have it be perfect nutrition, or have to sleep only 1 hour a day and be fully rested? So take your
How
pick.
many hours does it take to just be fully rested in real life? What is that number? I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
neither of us know the answer to that.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
So NFL stuff, draft is 30 days away, 1 month.
Oof, oof, oof.
So free agency's pretty much winding down at this point.
Yeah,
There's
all the
still,
excitement.
yeah, there's still a bunch of stuff out there, or guys out there, I should say. But like not really like any. You're not. I don't think you're gonna see too many splashes until close to the draft.
Yeah, I mean there's still a handful of free agents out there, like a good bit of them, but they will, like you said,
Aaron
they're all
Rodgers.
now. It's kind of it's kind of stalled out. Well, not even just A-Rod, but like the chunk we had, like it's kind of stalled out
Yeah.
from like the excitement of day one. People trying to get the people in as early as possible, get them learning your
Right.
system and moved and all that. So, um, but yeah, so like you said, yeah, once draft comes though, that'll be when people start getting traded for draft picks and things like
Yeah.
that. Like extra additional shit starts happening. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're in a good spot. 30
But
days away doesn't feel
because they're now kind of winding down with free agency, the owners are in all of their meetings. So the three big takeaways I have: the Packers propose to ban the tush push,
Good to
or
that.
brotherly shove.
Brotherly
So
shove.
I really hope that doesn't get any traction. Their argument was that there's a bunch of injuries on it, and yet the Eagles have not had a single injury on it. There's been like 2 or 3 hurt defensive players. And then like of course all the videos in the Eagles social media spheres that I'm in come out
Yeah.
with Jordan Love, his failed attempt at a quarterback sneak, which is hilarious.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's so bad watching
Um,
people do it because it's one of those ones where it's like if it's so easy, everyone should be able to do it, and then there's a compilation of that of other
yeah,
quarterbacks trying to do it, and it looks terrible.
yeah, exactly. The Lions propose a playoff seeding change, so basically seed based on record and not the automatic top 4 seeds go to the conference winner or division winners rather.
Yeah.
So bold move.
Which is
Um,
where the NBA is, and then people argue that divisions don't matter because
Right.
who cares? Like
Yeah.
if you're a division winner or not, like you're not guaranteed.
Yeah, you
a
just got to
spot,
get in
blah,
the
blah, blah. You
playoffs.
just
Yeah.
gotta get into the playoffs. So I like the idea of doing it honestly that way because then you keep divisions so that the teams have rivalries. They have consistent play. Like the
Okay.
tradition of divisions is there. But yeah, like the idea of like a divisional winner or whatever getting in the playoffs, but being like 7-9 or 7-10 or whatever at this point, like just does feel kind of goofy. So like it would almost kind of be like the play and college football playoffs where it'd be like, nah, you don't necessarily need a committee because there's just less obnoxiousness, but you would kind of have like the resume talk in a way where it's like, oh, because like I'm thinking of the NFC South, like they're always the ones, the Bucks, Panthers, like they've
Yeah.
always had those years where they were 8-8 and that was the fucking winner of the thing, or 7-9 getting into the playoffs, and it's like, what are we doing here when there's a 10-6 team somewhere that didn't get in because they play in a
That
really
had to
good
go
division.
to the NFC South team. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it's just goofy to have things like that happen. So so I'm almost all for like straight up conference seeding for playoffs and stuff because like rewarding the division doesn't seem to make sense because like if you play in a good division then you're penalized. It's almost again kind of like college football then where you play in your conference championship and lose, you get penalized. If you didn't play at all, you get like you don't have an extra loss. Like it's an odd
Alright.
scenario, but so I kind of like it though because it just eliminates all of that. It's just what's your best record, you're in first seed, and then limit it down. So
Okay.
but I feel like you disagree with that. You like
I-
the divisional seeding?
I do disagree with that. Call me old school, but I really like
see
it.
I was just saying that would be
Um,
the only part of me that wants to keep it. It's just like that's how it's always been.
Yeah,
But
I
like I feel like
think-
it kind of sucks.
I think rewarding a team for winning your division with a home game in the playoffs is smart. I
Why?
I don't know. I
Okay, so
truly don't have a good
just
reason. It's just the
traditional factor
yeah.
to it.
this is what it's always been. I
Fair enough.
understand the arguments. I get them. I just don't support it.
Got it.
So then the
So
third
this is
rule.
one of those ones where you go, I get the logic. I just fuck it. I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah, exactly.
Fuck. I was waiting for like one of the good, solid, like reasonable AJ answers, and it was not. You said no. I
No,
just fucking
no,
like it
I
better. So
have no reasonable answer.
yeah,
I like it that way.
I like seeing the Panthers sneak in at C7-9. I'm all
Yeah,
for it.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not super opposed. I don't think it'd be a terrible idea. I think it's one of those things that'd be cool to see the NFL be a league that's willing to try to just be like, oh, does this fix it? Does this make it any better? Do it for a year, and if they're like, oh my god, that was fucking terrible. This team got fucked. That team got fucked. This one is a disaster. Whatever.
I
But
think
they never will.
the
I
NBA
think
did
that's
that
it.
for us.
Yes, yeah, and the NFL never will.
Yeah,
But it works in the NBA. So
yeah. Third rule change then the Eagles proposed changing the playoff overtime rules to just the standard playoff overtime rules. So each team gets a possession regardless of the touchdown being scored. I'm all here for that. Just each team
yeah,
at least gets a possession. Let them have an answer.
I honestly, I feel like we've talked about this before, and I think we both agreed on this. Like the old college rules were the best. Like
Oh,
15-yard line, 4th and 10 or whatever, second or just 1st and 10 or
Yeah.
whatever.
First
You
and 10
go,
from the
and then they
25.
go. Yeah, if
Good
you
luck.
get a field goal, they get a field goal. Now it's to the 20, and if you get a touchdown, or you get a field goal, they get a touchdown. They win. Like
Yeah,
it's a 1-2 combo. Just that's it, and it's just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 until someone scores more points than the other one, or someone
Yeah.
doesn't score, or there's a turnover, or whatever. Like, yeah, I loved those rules. I feel like
Same.
that is like the most like fair way to do it, especially in big games. But then it's like, yeah, I mean, instead of having ties, it almost would make sense to just extend that to the regular season and just have
Right.
it. It's a fair shootout type deal to
Yeah.
just like prove it. And yeah, so yeah, I
I
guess
would-
the only downfall is that if they just keep scoring back to back, all of a sudden you're at the 50-yard line, you're on overtime 12, and you both just keep getting field goals. Like it would get a
Well,
little crazy.
okay. So here's
but-
my argument. I would love to see overtime starts at the 30-yard line. Every successive overtime goes back 5 yards to start the drive.
Yes, yeah, I
So
agree with
you're
that.
at
But
the
how far back
35,
do you go?
now
Like,
you're at
what
the
do
40,
you
now
go
you're at
back
the
to like
50.
your own 0-yard line?
Yeah.
Like, you keep going until you're at the 0.
You get the ball on the 1-yard line and first and 10. Good luck.
You're fucking chaos, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it would be 5 hours long. Oh
I mean,
my God,
okay,
I'm
so
all for it.
35,
I am so all for that.
40, 45, 50.
It'd be 4 to the 50,
40,
and then 10 more, so 14. 14 to
35,
get back there.
30,
14.
25, no, 25, 20. Yeah, you're right. I don't do it. Yeah, so at the 1-yard line.
Yeah,
That's,
'cause it's 10
so
to the
look,
50
if
before.
you're matching 14 times, like
Then,
that's
yeah, you
that's
deserve
impossible.
you deserve a 100-yard try. But
Yeah.
that is worst case scenario. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, 30-yard line, like that's perfect. Yeah, give
But
him
yeah.
the 30 because then like that's field goal range. Like just do what you
Yeah.
need to do with
And
it.
now if you're on the 1-yard line, suddenly you got to be worried about safeties. Like
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
You get a safety and now like,
Safety
now
ends
it's
the game.
changed. Yeah,
Yeah.
it ends the game. Yep. 'Cause,
So-
yeah, it's just as bad as a turnover essentially at that point.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that. So yeah, I wish the playoff rules or I wish the overtime rules would go to that instead of just like
Yes.
kickoffs and one possession or whatever. Because
yeah.
yeah.
And then the only news worth, I think, mentioning for free agency is the Vikings announced that they're rolling with J.J. McCarthy and they are not interested in Aaron Rodgers.
Which is interesting. And then also
You can't blame them.
Yeah,
right?
Is it? I always fuck up his name. Cam. It's not Cam Jordan. That's the Saints. Cam Hayward from the Steelers.
Yes.
They were like, are you recruiting A-Rod?" And he pretty much was like, "I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be any part of any ayahuasca shit. If he wants to be here, great. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. Like, if you want to be a Steeler, be a Steeler. If not,
Right.
don't."
Yeah.
And like that, yeah, that was like, oh shit, okay, so A-Rod probably isn't gonna go there now. Like, he's too egotistical to like go somewhere where he's not wanted. So
Yeah.
Of course, me saying egotistical is me just not actually knowing Aaron Rodgers and reading media about him.
Sure.
But yeah, Aaron could end up pretty much anywhere now. Imagine he takes like a year off and does like the Belichick shit and comes back next year. Like him and Belichick just spend
I
the
know.
year working out and doing shit. Like, hey, I feel like he's not gonna just quietly retire. Like, I don't think he'll just be like, oh, no one's interested in him out. Like, I feel like he wants another shot at it, but he is getting older and he blew up his Achilles and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, so that's about it for our NFL news, NBA news. Honestly, not too much since we last talked because we're winding down to the season here. We got about 11-ish games left. Weekly update about the Mavs situation being worse than it is, though. A video came out of Markieff Morris on a podcast talking about how when the Mavs won the Western Conference Finals, there's a video of Luka who has a rumored drinking problem, and that's where his weight gain came from and his like flushness when he's playing or whatever, that he's like drinking and stuff. There's a video of him like drinking a beer when they win the Western Conference Finals, and one of the GMs walks over and like literally reaches up and grabs the beer and pulls it out of his hand and just like walks away. And Luka just looks like so disappointed. Like, are you for real right now? And like it's on video, and then that video circulated, and Marcus was like, I saw that, and like that was like the moment where I was like, you cannot do that. Like that shit's on camera. Like you cannot like. It doesn't matter what you think you're doing or whatever. Like there's just a way to handle it. Like that, you saw what they thought of him in that moment. That like, regardless if they won the finals or not, this was probably coming. And
Right.
so yeah, so yet again, just makes it even worse that like it's one of those ones where it was like MJ had a fucking gambling problem, and it was like, who cares? He was out there betting $100,000 on golf earlier that day, and then comes out and gives 40 to the Knicks. Like, who gives a shit? Like, yeah, let him do his thing. Like, who cares? So yeah, Cade Cunningham, I mentioned him before. He is for real. He is on the Pistons, who are now like streakingly good after like a historically bad season. So it was really funny, the All the Smoke podcast with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. If you've definitely seen clips of it, if you don't recognize those names, you would if you saw the faces. They had Austin Reeves on there. Who Austin Reeves, interesting tidbit about him, the third man for the Lakers.
Yeah.
He had offers to get drafted and declined them. A few teams like reached out about workouts, and him and his team and his media or agents or whatever reached out and were like, nah, we're actually good. Like, you guys are looking for a two-way deal, blah, 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 blah. We're going to go undrafted, get signed to a whatever deal with the Lakers. Like, it's just different this way. And the two teams he was looking at that he was talking with were the Bucks and the Lakers. So the Bucks, and he was like, that's cool, don't draft me. I'll tell these other teams to fuck off, because they're not going to waste a draft pick on me, but then they'll sign me after. So, like, that's how this shit works all the time, I guess.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, he was like, and they were like, and Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson were like, who are the teams? And he was like, he's like, well, like, the Pistons were there. And he was like, so, like, we tiered our teams. So, like, tier 1 was, like, the Bucks and the Lakers. Tier 2 was, like, these handful of teams. And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, and then like Steven Jackson from the corner is like, I don't think the Pistons are on anybody's tier right now. And right then it pops up with this little timestamp and goes, this was recorded July of 2023, and then disappears. Like all the comments were like, that timestamp's funny as fuck because they're good now. Like he wanted to clear it up real quick that like, hey, this is an old episode, don't forget about that. But yeah, so the Pistons were historically bad last year to the point where they were getting mocked in podcasts like that, and now they are actually like a decent team and on the rise. So the Rockets are in second again, which is just so crazy for the West. Like they're such a young team, and they have a coach who got fired from the Celtics for being in a sexual harassment case, and then the Rockets were just like, we'll take him, and he just leads them to be the second in the West. Like what a wild fucking scenario.
It is crazy.
Yeah, Los Angeles moved into third place. They took over the Nuggets for third, and then the Warriors got in their sixth place spots. Like a lot of the teams are getting in, as we talked about.
Wild that the Lakers could still be a 2 seed.
Yeah, dude, they're just climbing. Like, it's crazy. And, like, right now, Braun's out. So, like, yeah, he's hopeful for tomorrow or for Saturday to play.
Yeah. Braun's out. They've won 3 in a row.
Yes, it's crazy. And Luka missed one of those. And, yeah, it was no Luka, no Braun, and they beat the Nuggets, which is just bananas. And sad days are coming. LeBron's days, like, he mentioned it. He said retirement's on the horizon. So it's like we got a year, maybe 2 left. Like, but, dude, he's just still dropping 40 and throwing down tomahawks. Like, dog, just keep playing. Just play till you die. We expected the Mavs to fall out of the playoff seeding. They did. The Suns moved into 10th spot. Mavs moved into 11th. So they're dog shit, and they're going to continue being dog shit. And super helpful that you put that point there. I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, the Celtics sell today to a private equity firm out of California or some shit. $6.1 billion.
I thought for sure it was you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I called. I said, I'll write you a personal check. Just give me the keys to the building. Don't cash that for...
You just can't cash this for... Yeah.
Don't cash that for like, no, ever. Let me get a few years in there and get some profits, and I'll write you the down payments.
You know, Walter White in this on me?
No, yeah, I should have. That's crazy, though. Yeah, because I remember, too, like, doing, like, a project in high school where it was, like, about, like, the valuations of all the sport franchises, and it was, like, the biggest was the Cowboys and, like, the Patriots and the Red Sox and the Yankees, and they were all, like, it was, like, 3.95 billion, 3.98 billion, 4.01 billion. Like, they were that close, like, within, like, a few 100,000 of each other. And then they just came in for the Celtics.
A few 100 million for the record, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. So then they just come in and, so billion, million. And, so it's just crazy that they came in that much over. Like, 6.1 for a franchise is fucking insane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but, so now we're sold. It's so weird, too, that both of my favorite teams have been sold in the last 2 years. We got sold, Broncos got sold to fucking Walmart, and now these guys get sold to some fucking real estate firm and wherever, so, yeah. Interesting, but I guess we'll see how that turns.
Somebody's making money somewhere.
Hopefully it has zero effect, and it doesn't fuck with anything. There's no new like weird ownership in the building talking to players or any Donald Sterling bullshit that's gonna happen.
We're moving the Celtics out of Boston.
Yeah, fucking Harrisburg. Then can we get a Harrisburg team, please? Tear down. Never mind. I don't want to.
We're moving to Billings, Montana.
Oh, I'd be so pissed. I'd be upset. I'd be upset as fuck. Actually.
All right. So for what it's worth, the MLB season did start. The Dodgers swept the Cubs in a Asian series. I forget where they were playing. Was it Japan? Yeah, they went 2-0, so it started. But then like all the other teams are still playing spring training games. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know when the season actually starts. Don't ask me.
I think it's soon. I don't even. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Everything on the schedule still says spring training. So up to Sunday. Yeah, I'm not going any further than that. But yeah, honestly, the season started. I could care less. Other than I would like to go to a Phillies game this summer, but like that's just something I always try to do during the summer.
Yeah, I'll probably end up now. I'm probably at that point too, where I'm gonna start going to some more of them, like I said with the boys.
They play so many games,
so you can get in there for cheap.
Yeah. So then, moving right along to the NHL, Ovechkin did score a goal the other night against my beloved Flyers. So he's now 7 goals away with 13 games left. So good for him. He's on record watch here. He's now over 0.5 goals a game needed. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, he's primed for the playoffs, so don't really have to worry about that. Yeah. And for what it's worth, the Penguins did pass the Flyers in the rankings in a battle for second to last in the conference. So
love that. Just playing dog shit Super Bowl.
Yeah. So is what it is.
I was looking up a little bit of Penn State football earlier, just curious if they had anything going on, and spring schedule starts soon for them. And in looking that up, you did a little bit extra research from what I did, I'm sure. But I saw that Penn State wrestling started out the playoffs 10-0. Did you find anything else out? I know we were they're gatekeeping information.
The playoffs is a poor term because it's the national championship. Okay. So it's a weekend event, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So in the first 2 rounds, they went 10-0. They're leading by like 30 points in the team championship.
And so that's how it works. That's interesting too. So everyone kind of fights for their own.
So there's individuals at the weight class, and then based on how you win your match gives you a point total that goes to your team.
Interesting.
So like if you fall an individual, which means you pin them, I think it's worth like 14 points towards your team score, where if you win by decision, which means like the score was 3-4, 4-1 or something, it's worth like 2 points.
Interesting. So like winning is the key. Got it.
Right. Yeah. So and it goes up. So like a decision is like the lowest tier of winning. A fall is the highest tier of winning. And then there's things in between. There's a major decision, which is a win by I think it's 10 or more points. There's a tech fall, which is if you get up, I think it's 15 points. Then they basically call the match over. And there's a few things in between. So
interesting.
Different points are awarded.
So. I really thought it was just like pin them or get them out. Like I just thought pin them or tap them kind of thing. Like
no, there's 3 periods in a match that are, I believe they're 3 minutes each. And so
the boys
it's very
are
interesting.
Definitely gonna wrestle like almost inevitably.
You think?
Like 100%. Like just the way that they fuck with each other already. Like my dad did that thing where like he would talk about doing that kind of stuff and then would like psych me out of it. They're like they can start this season.
I was gonna say you could probably get Joe started already.
Yeah. We made a thing where like he had some behavior issues heading into kindergarten, and so it was like let's just actually let them vibe through kindergarten and just get through the school year. And so this summer we were just talking about the other day. She wanted to start him in t-ball for the spring, and I was like, much as I'm for that, I was like, let's just get through this year first, and then this summer we can spend time with them, figure out what sports they really want to play, what they want to do. Because Joe was like, I'm gonna do football and basketball and baseball and lacrosse, and I was like, dog, slow down. See, there's only so much time in a day. Yeah, so
I
yeah, but I
want to do
definitely think
all
that
the
they were. Yeah,
things.
I definitely think that they will wrestle because I'll have them in some kind of like contact sport, no matter what. So I think wrestling will probably end up being what they do.
Okay,
But yes, we'll see. But
gotcha. Pretty cool. And then moving right along to March Madness, as we
we're
mentioned
gonna.
earlier. So a report came out this morning. Quote, pain free, unquote, Cooper Flag is expected to play. I think they play tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Against Mount St.
tomorrow.
Mary's.
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon or evening.
Yep.
Um, but then the story of the day so far. I know Drake just won, but I think McNeese was a bigger upset. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
I just got the text too. It said, "Oof, tough loss. You want to buy back in for tomorrow?" God damn it, Mike. Chill for a second.
Yeah, 12 over a 5.
God damn
And
it. I think they both were actually. And both
were
were
they?
12 over 5s. Yep. Yeah, Clemson was a
I can't
5
find the
too.
other one.
Yeah, Clemson is a 5.
Yeah,
McNeese is a 12.
yeah.
God damn
Um,
it. Fucking Missouri.
so yeah, it happens every year. Um, so is what it is. So they are the
God damn it is.
Cowboys, McNeese State University Cowboys. I don't know what the conference they play in. They play in the Southland Conference. I don't.
Southland.
You could have given me 10 guesses, and I don't know that I
Louisiana. Are they
ever
from
would have picked that up.
Louisiana?
They are from Louisiana.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah,
I
they are.
swear on my children's life, I didn't look anything up about it. You said Southland, and I literally thought about the video of their manager dancing through the hallway. If you have or haven't seen that video,
Yeah, I've
and
seen it.
I literally just thought about that. And that kid, I just was like, I don't know, they seem like a real hype vibe kind of school, and I was like, I'm gonna guess somewhere central. Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Where are they at? I feel
They're
like I already knew that subconsciously because how the fuck did I guess that?
yeah, they're on the western part of this, southwest part of the state, um,
I
on
always have to
some
remember which side's
lake
west.
inside. Yeah, they're
Interesting.
they're
Sam
almost on
Houston?
the Texas border.
Are they near the Sam Houston Jones State Park?
I don't know. I don't know where that
That's
is.
where we. That's where we.
I was
stayed
looking
at.
for a state that I might recognize, and then I realized that there's approximately 2 cities in Louisiana that I know, and it's New Orleans and Baton Rouge. So
Facts, yeah, there's not a lot down there.
I have heard of Shreveport before, but if you had asked me to put it on a map before today, I wouldn't know.
You know, actually, what's crazy? Where is McNeese at? I'm pretty sure we drove by McNeese.
Interstate 10 through
Yeah,
Louisiana.
we did. We took I-10 from New Orleans. Actually, I knew Lafayette
Through
was
Houston?
down there too. I knew Lafayette was down there from one of Tom's original stand-ups, and he was from Lafayette, Louisiana. Yeah, we drove up from New Orleans up through Baton Rouge, down through Lafayette, and then we went through Lake Charles to get to Sam Houston Jones State Park, which is over there somewhere. I'm curious though. Jones State Park. There we go. Yes, I was 20 minutes from McNeese State University. Is that what it is, McNeese State?
Yes.
Yeah, I was literally 20 minutes from them. That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was where I had the best Chipotle of my life. But anyway, that was crazy that I got that right though. Yeah, I don't know how I did that, but yeah, I was not expecting them to win. Joe and Mac both picked them on their brackets. I sat with them today and made them pick brackets in schools and stuff. And Joe picked McNeese to go to like the Elite Eight, and I was like, yeah, probably not gonna happen. But he saw that game start, and I was like, dude, look at this shit. I was like, this is crazy. Not
That's
even
funny.
picking the 12 over the 5.
I do just want to mention because this one cracked me up today. Courtesy of Facebook, actually. Somebody did a a bracket based on how far from the basketball stadium it is to a target. The closer you are to a target,
The more
the
likely you are to
you
win.
you advance. So for the
That's
record,
actually really fucking funny.
the final four is UC San Diego, Omaha, Wisconsin, and Georgia. So Georgia's already been eliminated, but they made the final four in this. And then Wisconsin is the champion, being 0.5 miles from the basketball stadium to Target in Madison,
We need
Wisconsin.
to do something like that next year where we pick a weird ass
So-
fucking staple like that. We each do, and then we go through and pick a bracket based on like distance
Yeah.
to something or like population of something. Yeah, something that has to do with each of the schools would definitely be fun to do.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one.
Yeah. It just made me crack up. I sent it to my wife and I was like, this is how you would pick a bracket.
Yeah, literally. That's the first thing I thought about. I was like, that's the shit Kaylee would do. I was like, that's something if I told her to start Googling that stuff, she would be super invested and be like, oh yeah, this team's gonna win.
Yeah.
I don't know why the target is the winning key, but for me, I think it would be like closest team, like teams with dispensaries in their state and shit like that. It'd be like, who's the most relaxed going to play?
Yeah. You touched on this UFC thing, so I think we could probably skip over that unless you have anything to add.
Nope. Big fight
Nothing for
coming
this
up April
weekend.
12th. Nope.
Um,
But that's all.
Yeah, we touched on it last time. NASCAR's in Homestead, Miami, South Florida, Sunday, 3 p.m. The Chinese Grand Prix for F1 is this weekend. It does include a sprint race. Because of the time difference, it's at crazy hours. So Friday at 3:30 a.m. is the sprint qualifying. Friday at 11 p.m. is the sprint race. So they award some points in that race, only to the top 8. And then it's 8 points, 7 points, so on, all the way down to 1 point for 8th place. Then Saturday morning at 3 a.m. they qualify, and Sunday morning, these are Eastern Standard Time, by the way, and Sunday at 3 a.m. is the race, the Chinese Grand Prix. So I will be sure to catch up on that Sunday before we record. And then IndyCar also races Sunday at 3 p.m. They are in Thermal, California. And if I said I knew something about that, I'd be lying. I actually think it's a new track for them. And they have some sort of $1 million challenge going on. So I'm not.
Are you watching the F1 race or are you watching it Sunday morning?
I will watch the F1 race when I wake up Sunday morning.
I was like, damn, 3:30 is an early ass fucking race.
Yeah, I don't get up for those races.
Yeah, that's
to be fair, I'll be up in 3 hours, so it's like
right, yeah. You
I could
pop it on right after and rewatch
yeah.
it.
As soon as I wake up, I pop it on, and then I can stay off social media and don't find out who won. So, but yeah, so it's an exciting weekend. And then we move right into Monday, and now we'll record between now and then. But just fair warning, best of 3 final for Top Golf. Top Golf. Good lord.
Golf.
Yeah, for TGL.
Did I say for the golf league?
I think so. Yeah. So yeah, it's
Yeah, it is.
yeah. So yeah, TGL Monday at 9 p.m. is match 1, I guess, is what you call that.
No, that it's tomorrow golf league. TMRW is.
Okay.
A venture formed by Mike McCarley, Tiger Woods, Rory. I don't know what the W stands for. Tiger, Mike, Rory, and some. But anyway, I honestly thought it was. I thought it was the golf league this whole time, but it's not. It's the TMRW golf league.
Okay, interesting.
Cool. Anyway.
So yeah, they're playing for the SoFi Cup, which they have a picture of it on their website. It does look like a pretty dope trophy. But yeah, Atlanta versus New York.
It's so crazy.
$200 to get in.
And 4 teams made the playoffs, and the 2 teams that didn't were Rory and Tiger's team. That's so funny.
Rory apparently had better things to do in the Players' Championship.
Winning the Players' Championship in the playoff on Monday morning, which was insane. But how much did you say the tickets were to get in? And it's in New York?
It's in
Florida. That's right. It's in Florida.
It's in Florida, and it's $200 a seat. So.
Plus flights. Just kidding. I wish.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. Someday indeed. Yeah,
right after they cash that check for the Celtics.
Yeah, facts.
And then just a quick update: the Hershey Bears are still second in the league. Playoffs start next month. So.
Yep, super excited for that. So definitely gonna get the boys one of those.
And I think Harrisburg Heat's season's going on, but like they're not very good. I do believe the City Islanders start play this weekend as well too. In a little warm up for the season.
I put their schedule in my things. So I will tell you here in a second. Not this week. I think it's next week.
They have like a warm up match against the Milton Hershey High School.
Oh really?
Like a little like preseason. Yeah, it's at Milton Hershey.
How do I not see any Silly Islanders shit? I know I put it in here. City. Yeah, the first one I have on here is April 12th at 7:30.
Gotcha. I think that's their regular season. Yeah, when they
Yeah,
play
I
on the
think so.
island. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to check the Facebook real quick now because now you got me tripping about this spring practice thing. I want to go see. Damn it! Is that where you saw that at? Was on their Facebook page? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Saturday, March 22nd, kickoff against Milton Hershey High School. Cool,
Yeah.
free admission. Love that.
All right. Anything else for you? Otherwise, I got a fun fact to
Nope,
wrap us up.
we are Gucci. Take us out.
All right. Since you did so well with the geography,
I
uh,
cannot believe I guessed that. I'm really blown away. There's no way for me to prove ever that you're gonna believe me that I didn't look it up. Like unless I send you my search
I
history.
honestly,
But I
when I
really did
saw
not.
where it was at, I was like, I wonder if he drove through this.
I really did. And I didn't even think about it until we looked it up, and I literally drove right through there. And I don't. That's why I was like, maybe I subconsciously knew that. And maybe that's why I did, and I guessed
Yeah.
it. Like I literally said it, and I looked down, and I glanced at my bracket, and I just was like blue and yellow, and I was like Louisiana, I guess, because you said south, and so then right then
Yeah,
I went
Southland.
southeast. I always
Yeah.
go southeast, and so I was like, all right, from Florida up until Texas, and then I was like, all right, I don't think it's Florida, so fuck it. I was like, let's go Louisiana.
Yeah. For what it's worth, McNeese State, Lamar, Nichols, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi campus, Southeast Louisiana, Northwestern State, Incarnate Word, Houston Christian, UT Rio Grande Valley, SF Austin, East Texas A&M, and New Orleans are the teams they play against in the Southland Conference.
Jesus, I recognize like 3 or 4 of those all from tournament stuff.
Yes.
Like SF
SF Austin.
FS
Yep.
Austin is purple. Like I just
Yeah.
know like a handful of those teams
Same.
for no reason at all. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, I wish I wonder if I can still have it up. There was a. Then that would be the perfect time for it. Give me 2 seconds to find it, and if not, we'll just give up. March Hall of Fame.
March Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'll never find it. Damn it. Yeah, this dude posted a list. Oh, right here, I found it. It was a post of March Madness Hall of Fame, and it was just like the best Twitter thread ever. Peyton
Oh, okay.
Siva, kid for Ohio State, Jared Sellinger, Aaron Kraft, Jimmer Fredette, Nick Stoskis, Doug Eater,
Jimmer
DeJuan
Fredette.
Blair, 2013 FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast University. That kid with the long black dreads.
Mhm.
That kid just took over. He looked like Kenneth Farid and just
Yeah.
took over the entire tournament. Sister Jean for LC Loyola, or whoever that is.
Yeah,
in
Chicago. Yeah.
Jack Golke from last year. The girl that's crying playing the flute. Like, dude, yeah, like some of these names
Yeah.
in here were just like the best ever. And I was like, that's such a
UMBC.
great thread.
For
Yes,
16
UNBC.
seed.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, that was a crazy one. Yeah, there was a lot of like I was reading through and there was just like so many crazy ass names in there that I was like, damn, that's right. They were insane in college and then never again.
Yeah.
Like never again. So yeah,
Yeah.
so March is here. Some of these names you think they're gonna be NBA pros and they are not. They are, in
Anyways,
fact, not.
yeah. Geography. Maine is the closest U.S. state to the African continent.
I don't believe you.
To maps.google we go.
Yeah, literally to maps we go. How is that like closest by distance?
Yeah.
Oh shit, it is.
hmm
See, I'm not the only one. That wouldn't be a fun fact if I wasn't the only one who thought that too. Like in your brain, you're thinking like the United States is up here, and then like Africa's like way down here to the
Right.
right. Because you think that like Europe is up and then Africa is like
Yeah.
down, and it's not really. Africa's like
It's-
Florida and Africa are on the equator together. Like Florida is further. Like I thought that you. would
Florida's
have to
pretty
leave-
far from the equator, but yeah.
Not the equator. That's not what I meant. Not the equator. Florida and Africa are on the. I meant to say the same latitude. I said
Latitude.
equator. Yeah, I meant to say the latitude line. I said equator because I was like, that's right. I was looking at the equator. But that's not what I meant. I think in my head too. Yeah, I think like if you were leaving Florida and going straight across, like I don't know where you would end up, but yeah, I don't think you would have ended up in Africa. So if it wasn't for me looking at this, I would not have known.
You also forget just how far west the East Coast slopes when it comes down.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, like, it
that
just,
was my
like,
original where I was like,
shears
oh,
off.
this is gonna be by a few miles, and then I looked over and I was like, oh fuck, Africa's
Yeah.
right there. Like it's not down below Florida. 'Cause
Right.
That's what I was like, how is that much of a triangle gonna create a closer distance? But it's not south, it's fucking
Right.
east, which is crazy.
Yeah. You also technically Santa Cruz des Flores. Just kidding, that's part of Portugal now.
That's insane that West Palm Beach is like a fifth of the way more south than most of Africa.
Yes.
Like that blows my fucking mind. Yeah, that one was a good one too. That one.
Yeah. When you truly look at a map.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've looked at this shit your whole life, but you've never had to sit and like put things into perspective.
Yeah.
Because like that means that Florida's on the same line that like India is. Like Florida and India have damn near the same line. Like the top of India is like the bottom of Florida.
Yes.
Which again, for some reason, in my head it was just always like Florida's there and everything else is down south. Like I thought all of that was below the equator. And it's not at all.
Right.
Like, there's nothing below the equator, basically. Like, it's the bottom. Dude, that's fucking me up. I thought that the equator was like... I thought the equator was, like, dead center, took off the top of South America. I thought all of Africa pretty much would have been, like, down past the equator.
Yeah. Not quite when you actually look at a map.
Yeah, it's got me fucked up.
And then when you start working in the curvatures of Earth, shit gets even wilder then. Especially when you're looking at east to west things because of the curvature and how the distance is smaller at the top than it is at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just when you said that too, for no reason at all, like I'm looking at it, United States is over on the left and China's on the right, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, let me ruin my night a little more. And I scrolled over and put United States on the right and China to the left, so now I'm just staring at like the center of the Pacific Ocean, like making that the center of the map instead of the Atlantic, so now everything's even more confusing.
Yeah.
Are you on Google Maps right now?
I am.
What the hell is that crazy ass line north to south in the middle of the North Pacific Ocean? And why is it all curved like that? Do you see that too?
The line
right below
north.
Hawaii. There's a
Right
line
below.
running north to south around the Bering Sea down. It's a dotted line that's literally going like this.
It's like makes like an L shape to Hawaii. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm gonna snip it and send it to you real quick. It's tripping
Okay.
me out. I'm gonna make sure I'm not crazy. I mean, I know I'm not,
Come
I
while
see
we
it.
learn geography together.
Yeah, literally. Sports podcast while we learn shit that I should have showed up to high school to learn. Although I obviously didn't teach it because you didn't know it either, so. Sent on Facebook. Yeah, I got a crazy ass line there. Like, the equator's a straight line, and this line is not.
My first thought is the international date line.
No, it's the line between the oceans. But why the fuck is it shaped like that? Like, is that what separates the Philippine Sea and the Indian Ocean?
That line is the international date line that you see.
Fuck does that mean?
That's where the clock resets to the next day.
Why is it shaped like that?
Every 15 minutes because of the way the islands stretch out into the countries. Or the countries stretch out into the ocean with island chains.
I was zoomed all the way out. I thought it was empty ass water out there.
No. There's a bunch of random ass small islands in the middle of the Pacific because you have
body and all. Oh my god.
Yeah, you have all those.
I don't know why too. Yeah, in my head I just thought it was like oceans were always closer to the bigger continents and that there wouldn't be anything out here because like what the fuck are you doing out there?
It's big, yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, you're looking at the international date line. That's not on mine because I'm looking at the like Google Earth version of it, the map instead of.
You get like a handful more inches of water and some of these just disappear.
Yes.
So like if you live out there, you're just dead because you just in the fucking water all of a sudden. Like that's crazy. Like how many islands just disappear every year?
So there's this really
Polynesia. I've heard that before.
There's this really crazy conspiracy theory. You should look it up. About Bill Gates buying land that would basically become oceanfront property.
Yes, I saw that
at the highest point of the ocean.
Yeah, I saw that. Then like the Appalachian Mountains, essentially for the United States, he's buying it like a stripe that's like at the highest elevation, so that when everything floods, he's just like, cool.
Yeah, now I own all the land. Great. Yep.
Love that.
So.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to have kids because I felt like shit was only gonna get worse. So I was just feeding them into it, and then I was just like, all right, here, you guys go deal with this shit. I'll be dead by then, so have fun.
I think that's what every generation's done, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We all have just been like, this is fucking crazy. Y'all deal with this.
Yeah. So, anyways, we appreciate you all. Enjoy the weekend at March Madness. Good racing weekend. That's pretty much it for this weekend.
Yeah,
so
I'll be watching some racing and some college basketball.
That's probably a lot more college basketball if I had to guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
I don't know. I'll have the race on Sunday for sure. So
okay, we're here for it.
Locked in now.
So we'll join you guys Sunday evening. Enjoy your weekend.
Like
Hopefully
and
it's nice weather.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Appreciate
Thanks,
you all,
Tucker.
and have a good Friday.